All right, let's dive into one of the body's most incredible and honestly most overlooked organs, the liver. I mean, this thing is a powerhouse working behind the scenes 24/7, so today we're going to give it the spotlight it absolutely deserves.
So let me ask you this. Can you think of one single organ that's a factory, a storage unit, a detox center, and an immune peacekeeper, all wrapped into one? If you guess the liver, you are spot on. It is the ultimate multitasker, truly our body's unsung hero.
So, let's kick things off with our first section, the body's hardest worker. And you're about to see why. For the liver, it's all about location, location, location.
Okay, so picture this. Your liver is tucked away in the upper right part of your abdomen, right under your diaphragm. It's got this prime piece of real estate, and for a very good reason. What's so amazing is its blood supply. I mean, it gets oxygen-rich blood from the hepatic artery, like every other organ. But, and this is the game changer, it also gets a direct pipeline from your stomach and intestines through something called the portal vein. Think about what that means. Everything you eat, drink, or absorb, it all has to pass through the liver first. It's the ultimate gatekeeper.
So now that we know where it lives, let's get into what it actually does. And this is where it gets wild. We're talking about the ultimate job list. Seriously, the liver has something like 500 different functions. We're not going to go through all of them, don't worry, but we can group them into a few key, incredible roles.
And first on the list is probably its most famous gig, the detox center. You can basically think of your liver as this highly sophisticated, state-of-the-art purification plant for your entire body. And it is constantly at work. It's filtering your blood, pulling out and neutralizing everything from the medicine you take to other not-so-great substances. It takes toxic ammonia, which is just a natural byproduct of using protein, and cleverly converts it into something harmless called urea, which your kidneys can then easily get rid of. Oh, and it also clears out this stuff called bilirubin. If that builds up, it's what causes that yellowish tint to your skin and eyes, jaundice. The liver stops that from happening.
But wait, there's more. The liver doesn't just clean up messes. It's also a full-blown manufacturing hub. It's cranking out essential compounds that your body literally cannot live without.
Just look at the variety of stuff it's making. It produces bile, which is essential for breaking down fats from your food. It synthesizes these vital proteins that make up your blood plasma. It even makes the cholesterol needed to transport fats around your body. And maybe most importantly, it regulates the factors that allow your blood to clot. Without that, a simple cut could be a huge problem. So it's a detox center and a factory. And on top of all that, your liver is also your body's central energy warehouse. It's like the super smart storage facility that knows exactly when to save up fuel and when to ship it out. So when you've got extra glucose in your blood after a meal, the liver grabs it and stores it as something called glycogen. Then later, when your energy levels start to dip, say between meals, it pushes that glucose right back into your bloodstream for a quick energy boost. It's also a master recycler. It processes old red blood cells, salvages the iron from their hemoglobin, and stores it so we can use it again later. How cool is that? Absolutely brilliant.
Okay, so we've got this silent hero working nonstop, 24/7. But how do we know if it's in trouble? How do we check the warning lights on the dashboard? Well, that's where blood tests come into the picture.
You've probably heard your doctor mention liver function tests, or LFTs for short. It's a pretty standard panel of blood tests the doctors use to get a snapshot of your liver's health. They measure the levels of certain enzymes and proteins in your blood, like ALT and AST, to see what's going on.
But here is the twist. And honestly, this is a real aha moment. As this quote here says, the name liver function tests is, well, it's kind of a misnomer, a bit misleading, because most of these tests aren't actually measuring how well the liver is functioning. Instead, they're looking for signs of damage. They pinpoint whether liver cells are injured and leaking their contents into the bloodstream.
And this damage tends to show up in one of two main patterns, which is really fascinating. It's like detective work. On one side, you have the hepatocellular pattern. If enzymes like ALT and AST are super high, that's the main signal. It tells doctors that the liver cells themselves are probably injured. On the other side, you have the cholestatic pattern. Here, different markers are elevated, like ALP and bilirubin. And that suggests the problem isn't with the cells, but with the flow of bile. Maybe there's a blockage in the bile ducts. See? Two totally different stories from one blood test.
This brings us to what might be the liver's most fascinating and frankly mind-bending role, the immune paradox. This is where the liver has to play both warrior and peacekeeper at the exact same time. Okay,
Remember how all that blood from the gut goes straight to the liver? Well, that makes it a critical frontline immune organ. It's packed with the body's largest collection of special cells called phagocytes, and these guys literally eat pathogens. The liver acts like this super powerful security checkpoint, clearing out bacteria and other invaders before they ever get a chance to wreak havoc in the rest of your body.
But here's the crazy part, the paradox. While it's this fierce warrior, the liver's real superpower is knowing when to stand down. Think about it. It's constantly being bombarded with harmless foreign stuff from our food and all the friendly bacteria in our gut. It has to know not to attack that. This incredible ability to prevent an unnecessary full-blown immune response is called immune tolerance.
So the liver is constantly juggling these two opposite jobs. On one hand, it's in immune screening mode, acting as this aggressive gatekeeper, ready to launch a rapid and strong attack against any harmful pathogens it finds. But on the other hand, it's in immune tolerance mode, acting as a calm peacekeeper, actively telling the immune system, hey, stand down, this is just protein from lunch, not a threat. It's this incredible balancing act that's just essential for keeping us healthy.
So what happens when this delicate balance gets thrown off? While the consequences can be pretty serious, the immune system can lose that tolerance and mistakenly see the liver's own cells as the enemy. This is basically friendly fire, and it leads to what are called autoimmune liver diseases, where the body's own defense system starts attacking the very organ it's supposed to protect.
And that brings us to our final section. For all of its incredible strength and complexity, our unsung hero does have one major vulnerability. A hero's only weakness, if you will.
But first, the really amazing news. Your liver is the only internal organ that can actually regenerate itself. It has this truly astounding, almost sci-fi ability to repair and regrow after it's been damaged. It's a huge part of what makes it so resilient.
But that resilience has its limits. If the damage is too severe or goes on for too long, the liver can fail completely. And as this quote makes starkly, terrifyingly clear, we don't know how to compensate for that. Unlike a kidney, there's no dialysis machine for the liver, no long-term fix. For complete liver failure, liver transplantation is the only option. The stakes just could not be higher.
Which really leaves us all with one final crucial question. This incredible, complex, vital organ is working silently for you every single second of every single day. So, knowing everything it does, how can you protect the silent hero working for you? That's definitely a thought worth